Coming up, the man on trial in the Outback Steakhouse triple murder case took the stand today in his own defense as the trial comes to a close. We'll show you the progress Arkansas is making on Interstate 49. Another long stretch of the freeway is scheduled to open next month. I'm Charles Hadlock. Those stories, plus we'll see how the Arklatex celebrated Veterans Day, and Joe Haynes has the chilly weekend forecast. The news is next.
KTBS 3 Shreveport.
Your Louisiana Pick 3 numbers are 198. The Pick 4, 3623. Good luck.
Now, from KTBS 3 in Shreveport, this is KTBS 3 News at 10.
President Bush does his part in honoring veterans of war.
Great news tonight for drivers. Finally, a new stretch of I-49 is about to open.
And a story of transformation. A woman slims down to a healthier weight in just a few months. Good evening, I'm Sherry Allen.
And I'm Charles Hadlock. Thanks for joining us. A busy Shreveport street corner got a whole lot busier today.
Police officers and sheriff's deputies set up shop for an undercover sex and drug sting. The operation netted more than a dozen arrests. KTBS 3's Chris Redford gives you a look at how it happened.
You just want one, we'll go, I'll go 25 for you.
Those looking to buy a little romance in Shreveport's Highland neighborhood.
I just want a quickie anyway, that's all that was.
Just a quickie?
Found out the hard way that love doesn't come cheap, because once the jackets come off, the handcuffs go on. These Shreveport police officers spent the day posing as prostitutes on a street corner known for illegal activity.
Frequented by prostitutes, drug dealers, and we basically took them out of the picture and put undercover officers in their place.
Sergeant B.K. Hall says this is the third major reverse sting operation in the Highland neighborhood in the last few months. This one was busier than normal because police were killing two birds with one stone. On Stoner, the female officers arrested those trying to buy sex, while a Caddo sheriff's deputy and a Shreveport DEA agent arrested those trying to buy drugs. Each arrest was monitored and recorded inside an unmarked van parked down the street. The cameras inside this $75,000 vehicle can record action from as far away as 5 blocks. Sergeant Hall says past sting operations like this one have been very successful in driving out drug dealers.
Once we kill their customer base, then I think the problem will start dying down, and if it picks back up, we'll come back.
But Hall says that won't be anytime soon, now that word's gotten around that if you want to buy either drugs or sex on this corner,
Or you can take both of us for 35.
you might get more than you bargained for. Chris Redford, KTBS 3 News.
Sergeant Hall says today's work was a continuation of a sting they had last week on Egan Street. Of the 14 people arrested, 10 face charges of solicitation of prostitution and 4 face charges of drug possession.
The man on trial for the Outback Steakhouse murders took the stand in his own defense today. Stefan Walter denied any role in the murders of 3 co-workers during a robbery of the Texarkana restaurant last year. Walter said he only gave a gun to the other man who's charged in the case. And Walter said he didn't know why his mother testified that he had confessed to her that he was involved. The jury will hear closing arguments tomorrow. If convicted, Walter could get the death penalty.
A mother accused of the murder of her 1-year-old daughter will stand trial. A Caddo Parish grand jury indicted 20-year-old LaTanya Smith for the murder of her child. It was back in September when Smith rushed her daughter to the emergency room. The child had no pulse and wasn't breathing. Smith told police her daughter had fallen against a counter at the Pelican Inn motel where they were staying, but police say the child had extensive injuries all over her body, which led to the charges against her mother, who now faces second-degree murder charges. In South Arkansas, a school teacher is arrested on theft and forgery charges related to his ministry duties at a Methodist church in Union County. Sheriff's deputies picked up 57-year-old James Franklin Brown at the Junction City School campus and put him in jail on a $1 million bond. The sheriff says Brown might have embezzled more than $100,000 related to his ministry duties at J. Mayfield Memorial Methodist Church.
Workers are putting the final touches on the first 12 miles of Interstate 49 to open in Arkansas. Arkansas is way ahead of Louisiana in completing the long-awaited interstate between Texarkana and Shreveport. The new stretch of road will open between Texarkana and Fouke just before Christmas. Completion of the next 12 miles from Fouke to Doddridge is months away. Clearing of right-of-way in Louisiana is barely underway. As American troops in Iraq carry out an expanded assault on Fallujah tonight, President Bush is offering tribute to American veterans on this Veterans Day. The president placed a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns at Arlington National Cemetery. He told the crowd the sacrifice of America's veterans will never be forgotten.
We honor every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardsman who gave some of the best years of their lives to the service of the United States and stood ready to give life itself on our behalf.
The Department of Veterans Affairs estimates that 26 million veterans are still living.
A public ceremony was held at the Bossier Municipal Complex this morning. Veterans of past wars joined with city leaders Mayor George Dement and CAO Lo Walker, both veterans themselves, to honor the contributions of those who fought for freedom. Just this past weekend, Texarkana held its annual Veterans Day parade. Music reflects the pride of Veterans Day, and at Benton High School, students invited special guests and chose the theme, Freedom is Not Free. Members of the Air Force Junior ROTC presented the colors, while the Fighting Tiger Band played the national anthem and other patriotic songs for a special student assembly.
Students take pride in honoring veterans. At Caddo's Captain Shreve High School today, members of the ROTC paid tribute to veterans. A slideshow presentation of American wars was shown to an audience that included veterans, invited guests, and Shreveport Mayor Keith Hightower. Students say they are proud to honor the country's bravest Americans. Students and the mayor laid a wreath at the school's flagpole for fallen veterans and for all those who were Captain Shreve graduates.
It is the most haunting and American of all tunes. Buglers have sounded it across battlefields from Gettysburg to Baghdad. For many veterans, the sound of taps played by a lone bugler reminds us all of their service. It's something they want, and lately, few receive. But that's changing. Vietnam veteran and KTBS 3's Jim Roberts reports.
Chaz Dixon remembers his grandfather's funeral years ago. There was an honor guard from the veterans of foreign wars like this one.
It was a very special ceremony, and I was deeply moved by it. And then they walked over and picked up a boombox and hit play and sounded taps, and it was kind of underwhelming, took away from the whole thing.
He remembers hearing other veterans say how much a bugler sounding taps meant to them.
And I thought, you know what, I could do that. I played horn in 7th, 8th grade, you know, I could do that.
So this Bossier City Bank official started practicing the bugle, joined the VFW Honor Guard, and then bugles across America, a group of 1,500 volunteers dedicated to making sure no veteran goes to his grave without a live bugler sounding taps. So far, Chaz has done almost 100 funerals. One was for his best friend.
I've had the chance to sound taps at several of my friends' funerals, and tears streaming down my face.
Other vets were strangers. All were deserving.
It is my honor to do it. I thank you for the sacrifices you made by giving of your loved one while they served our country.
As he looks across at the vets' families,
to sound taps, to play that little bit of music, I know, you know, the feeling when you hear it. When I hear it even having practiced it thousands of times, sometimes it still chokes me up. I live right by the base, and I hear it every night, and it still chokes me up to hear that sound and know what that means, and a tribute to those that have fallen.
Tonight, Steven Spielberg's war masterpiece Saving Private Ryan was shown on television, but a number of ABC television stations across the country did not air the movie. More than a dozen stations canceled the showing. The stations feared the acclaimed film's violence and adult language could draw sanctions from the Federal Communications Commission. The FCC has started enforcing a stricter interpretation of the rules governing indecency and profanity following Janet Jackson's Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction. However, KTBS 3's owner, Edwin Ray, decided our station would stay with the network and air saving Private Ryan, as it has in the past on Veterans Day.
I think the viewer should have the ability to judge for himself what he wants to watch.
Ray says KTBS has a long tradition of allowing viewers to decide for themselves what they want to watch without censorship.
One touching celebration honoring our veterans is just off I-20 in the Arklatex. We'll show you how residents in Minden show their support for those who fight for our freedom.
A school bus flips over in Florida. We'll tell you what led to the crash.
So many people are waiting to be thin. Tonight, our KTBS 3 Spotlight is a follow-up, an amazing story of a woman fighting obesity.
And when you step outside, it hits you. The front has arrived. KTBS 3 Chief Meteorologist Joe Haynes will show us what to expect over the weekend. We'll be right back.
Your Storm Team 3 forecast can be heard 24 hours a day on these fine cumulus radio stations.
Now, with Mega 3 in your Storm Team forecast, here's meteorologist Joe Haynes in the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for staying up late with us. Looking outdoors, Storm Team 3 Tower Cam Network shot from Texarkana, State Line Avenue, and the camera's bouncing around because of the wind. A windy and cold night across all the Arklatex, and it's just going to get colder as we go through tonight on into the weekend. Mega 3 Doppler radar not showing any rainfall at this time. There's a slight possibility we could see a little drizzle for the rest of tonight, but no appreciable accumulation of precipitation. It looks like the heavy rain has pretty much moved out of the area. Here's your Skycast forecast for you Friday. We start out with temperatures in the mid-40s, which is not all that bad for this time of year. We've seen it a little bit colder, but nevertheless with the wind out of the north at 10 miles an hour to make it feel like the 30s outside. So a chilly start to your day, and then it doesn't warm up all that much as we go on into the lunchtime hour. 49 degrees, and by 5 o'clock the clouds sticking with us, making it kind of cold and dreary. Temperatures will be in the 50s, although for Friday night football, that'll be some nice weather, but you'll definitely want to bundle up. We did have some rain over the past 24 hours. The heaviest precipitation was in northern sections, and this was late last night as that front started moving through the area. Most of the rain pushed out early today. And high temperatures, well, at midnight earlier today, or almost 24 hours ago, temperatures were in the 60s, 69 to Queen, 69 right here in Shreveport and Bossier, so it was much warmer just about 24 hours ago, and now temperatures are falling off rapidly. 50 degrees in Shreveport, 49 in Texarkana. Wind still out of the northwest at about 13 miles an hour here at the regional airport. 45 current temperature in Clarksville, upper 40s in Marshall, and the mid-50s over in Ruston and also in Natchitoches. So it's chilly out there, and you factor in the wind, you get the wind chill, and it feels like the 40s over much of the area. So it's cold out there, and as the night rolls on, those temperatures come down. It'll feel like the 30s when you factor in that wind. The clouds, the low clouds sticking with us, that's an indication of where the cold air is hanging out. Just a big layer of stratus clouds pushing right across the area, and they'll be hard to disperse or move out of here. It looks like they'll stick with us all the way into the weekend. Cold front passing through Jackson now. Behind it, temperatures in the 40s in Dallas and the 30s in the Texas Panhandle. And our next storm system is out in California. That could actually bring some rain to western sections of the Arklatex this weekend. East Texas, southeast Oklahoma. Possibility of some rain for Saturday and even possibly Sunday. Your precision cast forecast shows a little bit of drizzle, not too likely. Mostly cloudy skies, though. You can see the clouds in white as we go through your Friday on into your Friday night. And here's that rain developing out to the west as that next storm system moves toward the Arklatex. Here's your forecast for the rest of tonight. It's cloudy and cold. A slight chance of drizzle, not too likely. No appreciable accumulation of any precipitation. Just cold out there. Upper 30s to lower 40s, northern areas, mid 40s elsewhere. Winds dying down to about 10 miles an hour as we head toward the morning light, but still that's a chilly wind and a chilly forecast. For tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the 50s, lower to mid 50s. Cloudy skies for all the day, and winds out of the north at 10 miles an hour as we go through the afternoon hours. Your 24-hour forecast will start out at 44 degrees at 7 a.m. Lunchtime, it only warms to 49. And highs will be in the low to mid-50s through the 5 o'clock hour. Here's your 7-day forecast. And we have a slight chance of rain here in Shreveport and Bossier for Saturday. Better possibility for you folks in East Texas, Southeast Oklahoma, and that could carry on into Sunday. But notice it's going to be cold through the weekend with highs in the 50s, lows in the 40s. Now, earlier this week we talked about a possible freeze and a possible frost. It looks like the clouds will keep the temperatures high enough to where we won't see that, but still there's a possibility of cold rain over parts of the area. So it's you treading one for the other. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we'll definitely be watching along with you, Joe. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Earlier in this newscast, we showed you a number of Veterans Day ceremonies in the Arklatex. One of the most notable is in Webster Parish.
Tonight, KTBS 3 photojournalist A.J. Willett takes us to Minden to honor our vets.
Today is the Veterans Day Parade in Minden. This is a day that we can celebrate and recognize our veterans for what they did for us.
Just to celebrate Veterans Day!
I just love to see America get together and be proud of America.
That's what keeps our country safe.
It makes everything worthwhile.
We like to celebrate the veterans that died for our freedom. They were risking their lives for us to save our country.
Salute the flag.
It's great to be back.
Well, I'm here to see the veterans because they're all important to all of our country because they make our country free. Without freedom, we would be nothing.
Now, KTBS 3 News continues.
The body of Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat is in Egypt tonight. The flight from France arrived about 12 hours before tomorrow's scheduled funeral in the Egyptian capital. Arafat died yesterday at a hospital near Paris. His death brought an outpouring of grief from Palestinians.
In Redwood City, California, another bizarre development in the Peterson murder trial. A 14-foot boat similar to the one owned by Scott Peterson has appeared in a parking lot near the courthouse on property owned by defense attorney Mark Garagos. Inside the boat, there are cement weights, a weight belt, and a headless dummy. Signs have been taped to the side of the boat, including one that reads, "Rest in peace, Lacey and Connor, you are missed." Some residents have stopped by to place flowers at the base of the boat. The boat showed up after Garagos' request for a mistrial was rejected. He had made the request after some jurors got into the actual boat that Peterson allegedly used to dump his wife's body. Jurors had been instructed not to perform such experiments. A school bus carrying school students collided with a truck and overturned in West Palm Beach County, Florida today. Some of the students were hurt. Officials say at least one person was taken to a trauma unit for treatment.
Take a look at this. The surveillance camera caught it all. A woman running, two men grabbing her and stuffing her into a car and then driving away. It happened in the Los Angeles suburb of Corona last Sunday. Videotape from a security camera shows the woman walking up to the mall sidewalk. A black Toyota races up and the woman runs away. One man chases her down, carries her to the car, and jams her in the trunk. Meanwhile, shoppers watch and other cars go by, but no one intervenes. There have been no recent reports of a missing woman or girl in the area.
The KTBS 3 spotlight is shining on a big problem tonight, obesity.
And one way to reverse the condition. In 2 minutes, see an amazing transformation.
Now, Health Watch 3 with the latest breakthroughs and developments from the world of medicine.
These days, morbidly obese people are turning to bariatric surgery to help them lose weight.
And in most cases, the results are amazing. Tonight in our KTBS 3 Spotlight Report, Ed Walsh has an update on Linda Mulliken. We've been following Mulliken's progress for the past 6 months as she, like many others, is waiting to be thin.
Linda Mulliken is doing something she never thought would be possible. She can now walk into almost any store and find clothes that fit her.
See, I like these.
This is Linda back in May. She weighed 299 pounds and was a size 32. Now, 6 months after undergoing bariatric surgery, Linda has slimmed down to a size 18. She's lost 82 pounds.
Strange, but I mean, I look at myself in the morning and it's like I'm looking at somebody else, or, you know, it's in the mirror.
It's still a learning process for Linda, what she can eat and just how much she can eat.
We're fattening up our dog, you know, because he gets it all.
She no longer avoids scales. Linda has been keeping track of just how many pounds she's been losing each and every week.
Gotten down to about 2 pounds a week, but sometimes it's just a pound, but he told me not to worry about it. That was normal.
He is Dr. Kenneth Jones,
Get ready to kick this thing off.
who performed Linda's bariatric surgery.
She's following the dietary recommendations that we've made for her. She's walking 3 miles a day and doing all these things, and that's one reason why she's doing a little bit better than average, really.
Linda and her husband Bruce now walk about 3 miles 3 times a week. That's something she couldn't do before the surgery because her weight caused knee problems. Dr. Jones says since the surgery, Linda's cholesterol levels have dropped and she's now using a lower dose of blood pressure medication.
You lose about 4.5% of your body weight per month.
Thank you. Linda knows this is how she'll live the rest of her life, watching what and how much she eats. Looking back on all this, was the surgery worth it?
Now I would tell you yes, but as I said in July, for the first 2 months, I wanted to tell everybody don't do it.
But those initial problems are now gone, just like the 82 pounds she was carrying just 6 months ago. Ed Walsh, KTBS 3 News.
Do you still have questions about bariatric surgery? Maybe whether it's right for you? KTBS 3 is on your side. Dr. James Shamblin will answer your questions about the weight loss procedure. All you have to do is log on to our website, ktbs.com, and click on the weight loss surgery icon.
The high school playoffs are underway, and while 99% of the games get underway tomorrow night, one team advanced this evening, and Tim Fletcher will tell us about it.
And the horses are on the track, but these aren't the animals you're accustomed to viewing at Louisiana Downs. Details are next in sports.
Stream outside, 4 clear up.
Now, KTBS 3 Sports.
Liberty ILO completed district play last Friday without a league loss. That, along with $3.89, will get you a Grand Caramel Frappuccino. Don't ask me how I know. Onward and upward, the leopards hope to climb as the high school football playoffs get underway, and they are certainly doing so. Absolutely pasting the Gladewater Bears 40-0 in the fourth quarter. They will move on. Don't forget, Friday Football Fever comes your way tomorrow night on KTBS, and again from 10:30 until 11:30, 1 full hour on UPN 21. Back in the good old days, Oklahoma and Nebraska's annual Gridiron Grapples featured more bloodshed, bruises, and bedlam than a season of Springer. My, how the times have changed. The Sooners and Cornhuskers haven't played the last 2 seasons, and since the Huskers stink this year, there are meetings in Trump's boardroom that feature more vim and vigor. Bob Stoops' second-ranked team is a heavy favorite and just might unleash some pent-up frustration after a pair of close calls in recent weeks.
I think what's fortunate maybe, for us is last year at this time, we rocked along and we were beating the heck out of everybody. We may have peaked too early a year ago. I don't think there's any question this year as we've gone through the year, we still haven't peaked as a team, which is good, I think.
The Sooners and Huskers kick off in Norman at 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and here's a wild guess. OU alum Cliff Cotton just might have highlights of this one for you Saturday at 10. Former Parade All-American Brent Rawls' stint as an Oklahoma Sooner was rather short-lived. His tenure at Louisiana Tech was even shorter. Today, the Bossier City Battle Wings announced they have signed the ex-Evangel Eagle as their starting quarterback, hoping the talented and tall right-hander will not only help them, but help himself as well.
We believe that he's going to come in here and he's going to work and he's going to dedicate himself to be, the best player that he can be, at this level and try to prepare himself to move on up.
Rawls hopes to one day play in the NFL and said he's willing to do whatever it takes to get there. KTBS 3 sports star Tim Rattay and the San Francisco 49ers have struggled this season. Fortunately, so has Sunday's opponent. The Carolina Panthers are 1-7, less than a year removed from their Super Bowl appearance. Rattay is certain the Kitty Cats' defense is neither a gas or a liquid.
They're solid. I mean, they're solid up front, and they're really solid all over the place. And they got good linebackers and good secondary people. So overall, they're a solid defense. So. It's going to present a good challenge for us, and I think we're all looking forward to it.
In a rematch of their heated, gritty President's Cup series, the Mudbugs exacted a sliver of revenge tonight at Laredo. While the 3-2 shootout win over the defending champs was nice, it's kind of hard to have a shutout when someone scores 2 goals. It doesn't quite compare to the title the Bucks swiped from the Bugs this past season, thanks to a hometown goal judge in Laredo. Louisiana Downs raised the curtain and opened the gates on their first quarter horse meet in track history today. The meet runs through December 12th on a Thursday through Sunday schedule. Eve's Dash is the winner of the inaugural race, the Magnolia Stakes. First post each day of the meet is at high noon and features the most lucrative daily purse structure in the country. And that race that you saw right there, guys, actually traveled about 850 yards. The second race was 350 yards. It's basically you start, you stop. It would take Joe Haynes 6 strides to go that far.
Yeah, not long at all.
It's over with.
He's done that in 4 strides.
He can start doing some rolls and still beat these guys. It's pretty cool, though.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
A serious drop in the temperatures tonight.
Yeah, how cold will it get? Joe will sprint over here and give us the details coming up next.
Now, KTBS 3 News continues.
Welcome back, folks. 44, your expected low tomorrow morning. It could be a little bit of patchy drizzle around. Otherwise, it'll just look threatening like it's going to rain. Cloudy skies out there, breezy. Winds out of the north at about 10 miles an hour. Weekend forecast, more of the same. Slight chance of rain for Saturday. East Texas, a better possibility for you. Southeast Oklahoma, as a little storm system pulls across Texas. So it might be kind of wet in western parts of the area, but still cold all over the place. So highs only in the 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big change.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. And thanks for joining us for KTBS 3 News at 10. I'm Charles Hatlock.
I'm Sherry Allen. Have a great night. And if you're a veteran, we thank you.
Good night.
You've been watching KTBS 3, the best source for news, weather, and sports.
And for the only local 9 p.m. newscast, turn to UPN 21 News at 9.